So we know Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are preparing for a legal battle to fight accusations that he committed federal insurance fraud.
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia. Just not forget who she is. She's been for years lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failure.
Imagine Sunny Hostin, the fierce and outspoken co-host of The View, known for her blazing takes on everything from politics to pop culture, now caught in a storm of legal and personal drama that's got everyone buzzing. This scandal is more than just gossip. It's packed with federal lawsuits, fraud accusations, and even whispers of serious behind-the-scenes drama. If you thought Sunny was only about fiery daytime debates, think again, because this mess has her name splashed everywhere in the worst way possible. Now let's spotlight the key player. Drew Emmanuel Hostin, Sunny's husband. Once a respected orthopedic surgeon, his rep took a nosedive when a bombshell lawsuit hit. American Transit, a big insurance company, has leveled accusations at Drew and nearly 200 others for running a massive fraud operation. And we're not talking about minor mistakes. This lawsuit alleges an elaborate scheme that could outdo even the wildest Hollywood heist. Claims are flying that Drew Hostin was performing unnecessary surgeries, procedures patients didn't even need, just to scoop up insurance cash. The lawsuit packs an extra punch by invoking RICO laws, the same ironclad rules designed to dismantle organized crime. This isn't merely a warning, it's a serious charge that leaves no room for excuses. Now, here's the kicker. Rumors are swirling that the scandal goes beyond just him. Some say Sunny might have known a lot more about her husband's shady business than she's admitting. The plot thickens and the whispers are growing louder by the minute. Remember, before lighting up screens on The View, Sunny was a federal prosecutor. Her career was all about enforcing the law and taking down corruption. The irony is so sharp you could almost cut it with a knife. Now, folks are speculating that Sunny might have used her legal expertise to mask her husband's tracks. Could she have been the brains behind this massive scheme? Or is she simply caught in a tangled web? The internet is buzzing and opinions are flying like sparks. Let's break down the lawsuit. This isn't your run-of-the-mill courtroom drama. American Transit is accusing Drew Hostin and the other defendants of gaming New York's no-fault insurance laws. For those in the dark, these laws are meant to help accident victims get their medical bills paid without the hassle of proving fault. The stakes are sky high and the controversy is sizzling. But according to the lawsuit, Drew Hostin and his alleged co-conspirators didn't just game the system, they ransacked it. They're being accused of pulling off a full-blown medical hustle, performing unnecessary procedures, cooking up fake claims, and pocketing tens of millions in fraudulent payouts. But here's where things get downright explosive. Under RICO laws, any damages in the case could be tripled. That means if Drew Hostin is found guilty, we're looking at potentially billions in penalties, enough to obliterate even the most powerful careers. And just when you think it couldn't get any wilder, boom! Reports are now surfacing that federal agents raided the Hostin residence. And what did they allegedly find? Stacks on stacks of cold, hard cash, hidden away, tucked out of sight. Enough money to make anyone do a double take and ask serious questions. Was this secret stash part of the alleged fraud? Or is there another shady explanation? Sunny, of course, is pushing back, calling the accusations against her husband baseless, and insisting their family has nothing to hide. But let's be real, when feds are tearing through your house and rumors of hidden money are swirling, it's impossible not to wonder. What else is lurking in the shadows? Sunny has never been one to back down from controversy. On The View, she built her brand on sharp opinions and fearless commentary. But now, her critics are having a field day. They're calling her a hypocrite, asking how she can sit on national television calling out corruption when her own household is under a microscope. And let's be real, it's a fair question. How does someone who spent years preaching accountability and transparency square that with the explosive allegations surrounding her husband, and maybe even herself? Social media is on fire with calls for her resignation, with people saying her credibility as a commentator is in shambles. Of course, Some are rushing to her defense, arguing that these are just accusations and that everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt. But let's be honest, the court of public opinion is ruthless, and Sunny is getting a crash course in just how brutal it can be. And the drama doesn't stop there. The tension at The View is palpable. Her co-hosts have been noticeably tight-lipped about the scandal, but fans can feel the awkward energy. The internet is buzzing with speculation that the network might already be weighing its options: cut ties with Sunny or risk dragging down the show's reputation. Because at the end of the day, The View survives by tackling tough issues and holding people accountable. And right now, it looks like the hot seat just got a whole lot hotter. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture, because this isn't just about one doctor accused of fraud or one TV personality under fire. This is about power, privilege, and the illusion of accountability. Sunny Hostin has spent years branding herself as a warrior for justice, a voice for the voiceless, a fighter for the little guy. But if these allegations have any truth to them, that entire image could come crashing down. And what about the patients allegedly caught up in this scheme? If the accusations hold, we're not just talking about fraud. We're talking about real people, many of them hardworking taxi and rideshare drivers being subjected to unnecessary medical procedures just to line someone's pockets. That's not just unethical, it's downright chilling. And then there's the legal bombshell looming over Sunny herself. If investigators uncover anything linking her to her husband's alleged crimes, she won't just be dealing with bad press, she could be facing serious charges of her own. And this wouldn't be some slap on the wrist situation. We're talking about the end of her career, financial destruction, and even possible prison time. But here's the kicker. Sunny isn't rolling over. In a fiery statement, she came out swinging, accusing American Transit of launching a full-blown smear campaign against her family. The pressure is mounting, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the question remains: is she fighting the truth or fighting to save herself? Sunny isn't backing down. She's calling this lawsuit nothing more than a desperate attempt by American Transit to dodge paying legitimate claims, insisting her husband is completely innocent. And they're not just fighting back. They're going on the offensive. Their legal team, led by powerhouse attorney Mark Garagos, is already threatening a massive countersuit, demanding $5 million in damages for defamation. Garagos claims the lawsuit has done irreparable damage to Sunny Hostin's reputation, not to mention the emotional turmoil it's inflicted on their family. But not everyone's buying it. Critics are calling Sunny's aggressive response nothing but a smokescreen, a desperate attempt to distract from the serious accusations hanging over her husband's head. And here's where the irony kicks in. For years, Sunny has relentlessly called out public figures for their alleged scandals. Politicians, celebrities, no one was off limits when it came to accountability. But now, she's the one under fire. The tables have turned, and the internet is eating it up. It's a classic case of the hunter becoming the hunted. As this legal battle drags on, one thing is certain: this isn't going away anytime soon. With years of court filings, motions, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering ahead, the drama is just getting started. And with so many defendants involved, expect finger-pointing, alliances shifting, and explosive new revelations at every turn. But here's the real question. What does this mean for Sunny's career? Can she weather the storm and claw her way back? Or is this the beginning of the end for her time in the spotlight? One thing's for sure, this is a scandal no one is looking away from. Let's get real for a second. This isn't just about one scandal, it's about the bigger picture. How do we hold powerful people accountable? What happens when the public figures we trust come crashing down? And in a world where rumors and speculation spread like wildfire, how do we separate truth from pure chaos? These are the real questions at the heart of this mess. And let's be honest, there are no easy answers. But if you thought things couldn't get any messier, think again. Buckle up, because the next chapter in this saga takes the drama to a whole new level. It's like every time you think you've seen the worst, another bombshell drops, leaving everyone stunned and asking, what's next? Sunny Hostin and her husband, Emmanuel Hostin, are caught in a whirlwind that's spinning out of control. And the more details come out, the harder it is to look away. But let's dive right in, because the ripple effects of this scandal are just as explosive as the accusations themselves. We're talking about a high-profile TV personality, a household name, someone who built her entire career on being a truth teller and a champion for justice, now being dragged into the mud of her husband's alleged crimes. The question is, can she survive this storm? Or is her carefully crafted image about to be torn apart for good? And now we're getting to the real bombshells. The whispers are turning into roars, and people are starting to ask a very uncomfortable question. Was Sunny Hostin more than just a loyal wife caught in the storm? Could she have played a much bigger role in this alleged scheme than she's letting on? Because, let's be honest, supportive spouse is one thing, but what if she was actively involved in the inner workings of this operation? The rumors are spreading fast, and they're too wild to ignore. Let's talk about them. Some sources claim Sunny may have used her legal expertise. Remember, she's a former prosecutor, to help Emmanuel Hostin navigate the murky waters of this alleged fraud. And it doesn't stop there. There's talk that she might have helped funnel money through a network of shell companies, crafting a paper trail so twisted that even top investigators would struggle to connect the dots. And if that wasn't enough to raise serious eyebrows, other allegations suggest she played the role of a middleman, quietly shifting funds in a way that made them nearly impossible to track. Now, to be fair, these are just allegations, for now. But you have to admit, it paints a picture that's hard to ignore. And here's where things get even messier. Over the years, Sunny has been an open book on The View, spilling details about her family, her marriage, and her values. She built a brand on being relatable, honest, and grounded. But now, that carefully crafted image might be coming apart at the seams. But now, people are really starting to question just how real Sunny's image is. Because let's be honest, if even a fraction of the allegations against her husband are true, it raises some serious questions about what's been happening behind the scenes. And here's the kicker. For someone who built an entire career on calling out other people's misdeeds, this could be the ultimate irony. How do you stand on national television, demanding accountability from others, while possibly turning a blind eye, or worse, allegedly playing a role in something this scandalous? And the hits? They just keep coming. Let's not forget the fallout happening over at The View. This firestorm has put the show in an awkward position, and you can feel the tension every time Sunny walks onto that set. Her co-hosts? Unusually quiet. And that's strange, especially for a show that thrives on tackling tough topics and exposing uncomfortable truths. But the silence is deafening, and fans are noticing. The big question: could producers be scrambling behind the scenes, trying to decide if keeping Sunny is worth the damage to the show's reputation? Because here's the thing. The View lives for controversy. It feeds off debates, and it's built a brand on calling out public figures. But this might be the kind of controversy they never saw coming. And speaking of fans, let's talk about the reaction. Social media is in full meltdown mode, and let's just say, people are not holding back. On one side, you've got people rallying behind Sunny, insisting she's being unfairly targeted just because of her husband's alleged crimes. But on the other side, the criticism is relentless, and the internet, it never forgets. Supporters argue that Sunny shouldn't be judged for something she may not have even known about. But her critics? They're tearing into her, calling her a hypocrite and demanding she step down from The View. One commenter even wrote, "As always, Sunny Hostin has actually brought this particular situation on herself in the actual first place." And another didn't hold back at all, saying, "The whole show is racist and hateful and needs to be taken off the air forever." Clearly, emotions are explosive and the court of public opinion is split right down the middle. But let's not stop there, because this mess is far from over. Remember how Sunny has always positioned herself as a champion for the underdog? Someone who fights for those who can't fight for themselves? Well, the allegations against her husband paint a very different picture. one that's a direct contradiction to everything she claims to stand for. According to the lawsuit, Emmanuel Hostin's alleged scheme didn't just involve fraud, it targeted some of the most vulnerable people in society. Taxi drivers, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, hardworking individuals who don't have the resources to take on a major fraud operation. And if these allegations are true, this isn't just a scandal, it's a complete betrayal of public trust. A direct slap in the face to the very people Sunny has spent years claiming to defend. And let's be real, that's a narrative that's almost impossible to recover from. But let's switch gears for a second and talk about Sunny's response, because she's not just sitting back, hoping this all blows over. Nope, she's come out swinging. She's firing back, accusing American Transit of orchestrating a full-blown smear campaign against her family. One thing's for sure, this battle is just getting started. In a blistering statement, Sunny fired back, declaring, "This company has a history of filing frivolous claims, has been investigated by New York State, and has been sued by Uber Technologies." But she didn't stop there. Sunny and her husband's legal team, led by the notorious Mark Garagos, are hitting back hard, threatening to countersue American Transit for defamation and demanding $5 million in damages. According to them, this entire lawsuit is nothing more than a desperate attempt by a nearly bankrupt company trying to dodge paying out legitimate claims. But here's the thing, critics aren't buying it. They say Sunny's aggressive response is nothing but a smoke and mirrors tactic, an attempt to shift the focus away from the scandal and onto the insurance company. And honestly, it's not a bad strategy. But will it be enough to sway public opinion? That's the million-dollar question. And here's something interesting. Let's talk about the timing of all this. In the midst of this firestorm, Sunny has continued to show up on The View, tackling hot-button issues and delivering her signature fiery commentary. But fans? They've noticed something different. The usual confidence, a little shaken. The interactions with her co-hosts, tense, like something's brewing behind the scenes. It's almost as if she's desperately trying to maintain a sense of normalcy while the world is falling apart around her. But here's the real question. Can she keep this up? And more importantly, should she? Because the whispers, they're getting louder. Word is, the network might already be reevaluating her future on the show, weighing whether keeping her is worth the risk to its reputation. And if history has taught us anything, when the heat gets this intense, networks rarely hesitate to cut ties. And let's not forget, the impact of this scandal goes way beyond just Sunny and her husband. This is about what happens when public figures fall from grace. It's a story we've seen over and over again, but somehow, it never stops being fascinating. Because at the end of the day, the real question isn't just about guilt or innocence. It's about redemption. How do you rebuild your entire career when your credibility is hanging by a thread? How do you regain the trust of an audience that feels betrayed? These are the very questions Sunny will have to grapple with as this saga continues to unravel. So where does this leave us? For now, we're all just watching and waiting to see how this high-stakes drama plays out. Will Sunny and her husband clear their names, or is this the final chapter of their time in the spotlight? And what about The View? Can the show survive a controversy this massive, or will the network be forced to make some tough choices about its future? Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts and wildest theories in the comments. Let's break it all down and see if we can untangle this web of chaos together. And of course, if you want to stay locked in on all the latest twists and turns, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because trust me, this story is far from over. See you on the next one.